Hey everyone, on this edition of Off the Cuff, we're going to be talking about the claw. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. No, not that one. The iron claw. No, not that one. I'm talking about the one made by Argus. No, not that Argus, Argus. And then later, it was joined by JP. Not that J. And no, don't you dare for the P. No. I'm talking about the Argus Iron Claw, the one invented in the 1930s, that one. The one that looks like this, and this, and then later this, and then still later that. This is the Iron Claw we're going to be talking about today. Now, there was at least 5, maybe 6 models of this particular restraint. This is not a lockable restraint. This is more of a come-along. Now, the first models, the one I have 2 examples. They were actually stamped Iron Claw, and the Argus Manufacturing Company, Chicago, Illinois, on the other, with the patent numbers and the serial numbers. One of mine you can't read, and it has a broken collar, so we won't use this one to demonstrate how it works. I'll use this one. It's a little bit clearer, and I'll do a close-up too in a minute. But basically, you grip it like this, and then pull up on this little part here, and it disengages the teeth. They look kind of like shark's teeth, so that you can turn it and open the jaws that way. And then you put it on the person's wrist, pull it up again, and then you put it on the person's wrist, pull up the little sleeve again, and it'll turn. It's hard to do on yourself, but it'll turn and tighten around the wrist. Then you can turn this little ridged ring, this cap sleeve like, and lock it into place so that it won't reopen until you twist it back again. And it's adjustable, of course. It'll only stop when you stop turning until the jaws meet. And that's basically how the Iron Claw works. Now, the guy that invented it, in one of the articles I read, said that you can also use this as a weapon by holding it like that and breaking someone's face open. Okay, that's pretty nasty. I wouldn't recommend wearing a ring. Kind of like brass knuckles, but with a dual purpose. Okay, and trust me, when you're in this thing, when it's tightened around your wrist, the person will come along, because you can also twist it and cause all kinds of excruciating pain. In the first model, the teeth, the shark's teeth, were exposed, but in the second model and later models, they added this little sleeve. They extended it with a little bit of metal in it. It covers the teeth, because you can get your skin caught in there, and it is unpleasant to say the least. But it operates exactly the same way. You just twist it. You can almost see the teeth, and I'll show you a close-up of this in a little bit. And the reason that I decided to talk about the Iron Claw is because I recently came into possession of the last model. This is the one that says Iron Claw on the one side, and it's Argus-JP, New York, USA on the other. And it also says made in Taiwan. Now, when you see the close-ups, you're going to notice that there's a glaring difference between the two. And that is how boxy the last model is right here in the cover. And this is more curvy lines, and also it's curved here Whereas the last model, it's not. That's a sharp edge. And when you put that on, it digs in, and it really causes some damage. This one's clunkier, and you can also see on the edge of the jaws, it's a little wider here. This little bulbous end right there. So there's just a few design differences. And the reason why I decided to talk about the claw today was because I just acquired this one with the pouch. And the way I got it was kind of interesting. So I was at a moving sale, and the people running it, I didn't see any handcuffs or anything like that, but I asked them if they had any, and here they were already at the new place. So anyway, we exchanged information, and a couple of days later, I got these in the mail, which was pretty cool. And it does say JP, but they're smooth working, and they have the pouch. And I immediately tried them out because I noticed that sharp edge, and oof, man, that's really something. But you know, the Argus Iron Claw and the JPs are pretty common. You see them all over the place because they made lots and lots of them in the 30-odd years that they were in business in one form or another. So you can pretty much find these. You know, I've seen them in auctions lots of times. They're on the online auctions and eBay and stuff like that. But you know, it's kind of nice when you get one from an estate of somebody who actually used it on the job. You know, and you can put a face to the equipment, as it were. So anyway, that's what I got here. And the JPs, I think, date to about like 1960-ish or so. And they were, like I said, the final model. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up a little bit because I just got it. I didn't have a chance to wipe it down or anything. But that makes claw number 4 in the collection. And when I show you the details, you're going to also notice a few other differences in like the handles and just little cosmetic differences here and there. But the biggest one is the difference there. That's how you can pretty much tell. That's one of the ways you can tell the models apart, is that and whether or not the teeth are visible. If you can see the teeth, it's the oldest version. So I guess the point of this edition of Off the Cuff is that if you're at a yard sale or a flea market or whatever, and even if you don't see what it is you collect, in our case handcuffs, it doesn't hurt to ask. You never know what might happen or what the person might have just not on display at that moment. I was at another place one time. I think this was an antique show. It was one indoors, so it was like a one-day event. And I asked the guy if he had any handcuffs because I didn't see anything on the table. There was a couple of padlocks, but they were railroad locks. And he said, yeah, I just didn't think anybody'd be interested. And I brought them along anyway, and he pulled them out from under the table, and I bought them. I think they were a pair of beans. But the point is, like, why bring it and hide it? Nobody will know that you have it. But I'm glad that he did, because otherwise somebody might have bought it before I got there. So all part of the thrill of the hunt. So that's it for this edition of Off the Cuff. So until I see you again next time, please like, subscribe, share, do all of that fun stuff. And be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. And once again, thanks for watching.